Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to the Jack Ramone Show, y'all. 2019, new year, new ambitions, new music, new shit. But Fortnite keeps stealing culture. What's poppin'?
Jack Ramone, talk to him.
You ain't never seen a nigga like me. You ain't never seen a nigga like me. God in the power. God in the power. Niggas dying every day.
So, I don't know why anybody's surprised that Fortnite is stealing dance moves, is stealing, the Millie Rock, is stealing Carlton's dance. I don't know why anybody is surprised. They been stealing our shit. They been taken from black culture. There would not be no American culture without black culture. Nowadays, it's just fucking documented. I believe if it wasn't for the internet, if it wasn't so social media, they would have damn near stole hip-hop and say Eminem created hip-hop, son. Just like Elvis did. There was blues, rock and roll, all through the South. Elvis openly admits that when he was coming up in the South, he saw these rock, he didn't know what to call it. It was like a clash between blues and rock and roll, and it was electric guitars, and he was like suddenly inspired by this culture. And you know what he said to himself? He says, I'm gonna emulate this, I'm gonna do this. What ends up happening, white America is a white supremacist society. America's a supremacist society, sees this man and says, you know what? We ain't never seen this. Of course you never seen it. You ain't with the niggas. You ain't hanging out with black folk. This is new to you. If you was in, I'm guessing, the 1950s, you ain't with black people. You ain't going to the shacks. You ain't going to the parties. You ain't going to the black clubs. To black people, that shit was normal what Elvis was doing. Like, yo, people was doing that for years and decades. And he just outright stole it. And then here comes white media. And shout out to white media. Shout out to white media. Yo, white media can take someone else's idea, package it, put a white bow on it, and then boom, sell it to the rest of the world like they are the creators. Like America. America itself is a Native American, indigenous people country. But history books, television, Hollywood, media has made some people believe Columbus discovered it. They also made some people believe Columbus was a hero. Now, the more that we delve into it, we find out Columbus was a murderer. Columbus was a liar. Columbus was a scammer. And also as well, Columbus was a pedophile. That he raped poor indigenous women. He gave diseases to people. And he killed too many people. But time and time again, there ain't no internet at that time. There ain't no documentation. I mean, the only accounts that we actually have is from Columbus himself and from the indigenous people accounts. So, if we allow white supremacist society to explain this shit, we ain't never gonna get the truth. So Fortnite is as American as apple pie. Them stealing the Millie Rock, them stealing the Carlton dances, them even stealing the kid doing the floss is quite normal. It's quite normal. You know how you're going to say, okay, but the kid who does the floss is white, Jack. That doesn't make any sense. So they not only stealing from black people, they stealing from white people. Now take a look. The kid who does the floss, look at him. What music is inspiring him to dance like that? What music is that he has affinity to? What does he dress like? He dresses like a kid from the hood. He dresses like a kid who's into black culture, who's into black music, who's into that. So he's just a casualty to white supremacist society stealing. And I'm glad that kid is suing. I'm glad, I don't know his name, Carlton Banks is suing these niggas too as well. I'm happy. I'm happy. Listen, copyright everything. As an indie artist as I am, copyright your smile if you could. You can copyright dance and choreography. You can copyright that shit. So I'm telling you, go do that. Go do that. By no means, no company in this world should be able to take any type of creative property from you unless you allow it. So I don't care if you're super independent as an artist. I don't care if you're super independent as a choreographer or a dancer. Go out there and get your shit copyright. Don't allow these companies to outright steal from you. They already, the technology companies has already put us at a standstill in the sense of, for the indie artists. We hype because they giving a distribution, but check this out. Back in the day when they was stealing from, Michael Jackson and Prince and all the others, they was giving us at least 12 cents off the dollar. Now, we don't even get 12 cents off the dollar when we go to these distribution companies like Spotify, TIDAL, what have you. They giving niggas straight up an eighth of a penny or a 12th of a penny. So for you to even make a decent income from streaming services, you need to be doing 1 million streams outright. And you got to do that monthly to really see paper. And 1 million streams might be $4,000 to $8,000. So I'm ranting. So back to Fortnite. I'm not surprised that these technology companies, these computer engineering, these game designers are stealing from pop culture because, to steal from pop culture, to steal from these artists, these dance moves or whatever, it's the way to kind of solidify you as cool. And I don't believe that if you're sitting in the office 12 to 15 hours coding and designing games, you might have the creative mind to design a game world and design puzzles and intricate ways and challenges, but can you put swag on the game? You know what I mean? Like, where you can get that from? You're going to get that from artists, you're going to get that from dancers, choreographers. Some of these technology guys really wasn't mentally trained to be kind of creative and create their own things when it comes to swag. Now they're creative in the sense of designing entire worlds, which is beyond dope. But also, they gotta steal the Millie Rock to put a little sprinkle on how dope it is. So, any kid, man, you about to come out with a new dance craze, copyright that shit. Anybody about to do anything that is new, I copyright everything, nigga. What? Everything I do is trademark and copyright. Holla at you.
I'm bad all by myself.